Pam Moran, and I've just had the good fortune to co-author a book, Timeless Learning, with Ira Sokol and Chad Ratliff. And I'd love to be able to talk today a little bit about one of the themes that I think is absolutely critical as we really see our schools moving out of what was a compliance-based system in the 20th century to one that is much more of an empowerment system in the 21st century. And we know that young people in moving into empowerment bring something to the table as learners that you did not see in that more compliance-driven system that so many people in this country grew up in as they moved through the 20th century learning systems that we had in place. And so, for example, one of the things I think that we all know is that if you watch toddlers at play, there is no doubt that toddlers are people who have great imaginations, they have great curiosity, and they have all the questions in the world, and they can take just about anything and turn it into something that maybe we would have never considered, whether it's possibly a child who finds rocks along a riverbank and the next thing you know they're building frog houses, or a child that takes cardboard boxes and the next thing you know you have a submarine or a spaceship. And the reality is that as our children grow up from childhood to adulthood, that we start to see that imagination, that curiosity, that sense of questioning everything, and being able to engage in the kinds of things that kids are drawn to in terms of their own interests gets filtered out of their lives. And we know that the compliance-based school systems that still are in place in much of the country tend to do that filtering of what our young people really start out in life as being, and that is excited, interested, curious, imaginative learners. So what we've really tried to do in the work that we've done together is to really promote up the idea that all schools should have structures in place that embed a way of allowing kids to access their imagination, their curiosity, their sense of interest in all kinds of things that propel them forward as learners, and to be able to give them the spaces that they need, the tools they need, and the teachers they need to help them stay in touch and in tune with those things that really have been what we believe also keeps humanity in a place of thriving, whether it's the steam engine or the printing press, or perhaps it's television, or maybe even the internet. Those things have all come as a result of people who continue to see themselves as imagining how can we build a better future for the people that are around us and even into the next generation of young people that come forward. So in our work, we've tried to modify spaces in schools that give kids more opportunities to engage in ways that allow them to ask questions of curiosity and to be able to follow the lines of their curiosity to learn new information, to be able to develop new skills and competencies, and to see themselves as having what we would call a wide open world of hopes and dreams versus those that have been narrowed for them in the traditional structures of school. What we also see as absolutely critical is that for our kids to see themselves as imaginative learners, we also need to create the spaces for teachers to do that as well. And how we do that, how we get to a place where our teachers are feeling confident and comfortable to take risk, to be able to try out new things, to be able to bring new ideas to the table and share those and act on those in schools, has been absolutely critical to us as we've worked in our own district, as well as with others across the country. And what we see is that whether it's the maker movement, whether it's work that we do with project-based learning, that when our kids are able to take on work that really powers them up as learners and gives them the tools, 21st century tools plus traditional tools, to do that work, our kids thrive, and we start to see that there are many kids in our schools that are incredible learners that bring a great deal to the table that we would never see if they did not have those opportunities. So if you walk into one of our music construction studios, you'll see kids that some would say, well, these are not kids that really are maybe representative of the best of learners, and they're in there writing lyrics, they're creating music, they're performing, they are entrepreneurs, they're inventors, they're designers, and they're doing that because they have a space with teachers, with tools, that allow them to take their imagination and turn it into products and projects and ideas that otherwise you would not see in the old style compliance-driven schools that represent the 20th century. So as we have worked through documenting our stories and looking at what does propel our learners forward, we come back to that the best of who humans have always been in terms of innovation and invention is really grounded in the kinds of timeless learning that people have done since, well, maybe since the first person in a cave drew a hand or a bison on a cave wall, that our kids learn through the arts, they learn through hands-on learning, they learn through questions, they learn through following their interests, and in doing that, they become learners who grow, progress, and show us a capability of talent, of giftedness, of perspective, of genuine interest in learning that otherwise we might not see. So that's why we see imagination as one of the key themes of timeless learning.